Thank you for watching. This is Edward Finch, and these are my opinions.
Hello, and welcome back. This week, I'd like to talk about where the information we consume as a country falls on a scale between facts and impossible. To get started, let's build a scale so we can compare things to it. On one end of the scale, we have those things that are impossible. Some of these statements are things like, right now I can jump to the moon. That's not possible. On the other end of the scale, we have those things that are facts. Facts are the opposite of impossible. So a fact is, I cannot jump to the moon. However, most things fall somewhere in between facts and impossible. This is especially true when talking about politics. In my opinion, prior to 2008, most of the things we heard fell between probable and facts. We tended to trust our government and the news agencies that reported on the government. Starting with the Tea Party, we started to hear statements that fell more into the possible area. Things like Obama is a Muslim and Obama wasn't born in the United States. Was it possible that Obama was a Muslim? Of course. However, is it likely that he was a Muslim? Obama, his family, and his friends all say that he was a Christian. However, he could have been a closet Muslim, but that was pretty unlikely. What would be the purpose? Because we as a society found it fascinating that people could say stupid things and get airtime because of it. A group of people found out that they could become famous without having to study any facts at all and just spew whatever it is they wanted to say. This moved the information that we received down the scale to the unlikely area. As a matter of fact, the more unlikely the things were you said, the more famous you could become. Unfortunately, because of the volume of the unlikely statements being made, people started to assume they were facts. Then we had 4 awful years of Trump. Did you ever wonder why Trump supporters are so loyal? It's because Trump was uneducated on anything that had to do with being president, yet he continued to make statements and policies based on no facts at all. Prior to Trump, we tended to believe that presidents were looking out for the good of the country and that they spent time doing research before making policy decisions. But Trump's team did none of that. Yet, some believe that he still was doing that. Trump is a master at duping people into believing what he wants them to believe. If he was a true patriot, he would have been an awesome president. However, all he did was look out for the good of himself and divide the country into those who believe him no matter what, and those who saw what his motives were. Now, we have a bunch of people in Congress trying to do just like Trump did and say whatever they want to say and hope that the American people will accept it as facts. Let me give you a couple of examples just off the top of my head. Last week, while Marjorie Taylor Greene was addressing the House, she said that she was concerned about the CDC recommending a 4th dose of the COVID vaccine. She went on to say, why is it that we only get 1 vaccine for the polio vaccine, and yet we take 4 for the COVID vaccine? Unfortunately for Marjorie Taylor Greene, the CDC does recommend 4 doses of the polio vaccine between the ages of 2 months and 6 years old. To me, that moves her statement down to at least unlikely, if not impossible. She went on to talk about the war in Ukraine, and she said, what if the United States does have laboratories in Ukraine that are working on chemical warfare? If that was the case, then Putin would have the right to attack Ukraine. Again, there's zero proof of these labs. The only ones that are saying that the labs exist are Putin himself. In my opinion, any statement that starts with, do you think, I think, what if, anything like that, moves that statement into an unlikely statement right off the bat. I find it scary that people in our country are believing these statements as facts. Our country is moving in a direction based on statements that are probably unlikely and have no proof at all backing them. The other day, I had YouTube on, and there was a woman complaining that she had been suspended from YouTube for spreading rumors about ivermectin solving COVID issues. She said that YouTube was her livelihood and that she had worked hard to get the followers that she had, and she shouldn't be suspended for voicing her opinion. And also that they were trampling on her First Amendment rights. Her statement and lines of reasoning are just plain wrong. Her product is her YouTube channel. And as a product, you need to be factual. I can't start a company selling sugar pills claiming that they'll let you live 1,000,000 years and take care of all your illness. I just can't do that, and nor can she. Also, if she took a look at the First Amendment rights in the Constitution, it says that you have the right to voice your opinion against the government. It doesn't say that you have a right to say whatever you want to say, even if that's going to hurt somebody. Finally, I want to share one last example. Tucker Carlson was being accused of slander, and he got off because his attorneys argued any reasonable viewer watches his show with an appropriate amount of skepticism about the statements he makes, and that Tucker Carlson is not stating actual facts about the topics he discusses, and instead engages in exaggeration and non-literal commentary. In other words, he just makes stuff up without relying on any actual facts. This puts everything that comes out of his mouth somewhere between possible and impossible on our chart. Yet, when I talk to people that listen to his show, they tell me that what he says is indeed facts. All this sadly means, as a society, or at least 50% of the society, there are some people who are still sane, believe that the information that we currently hear is somewhere between likely and fact, even though that information truly is between possible and impossible. The sad thing is, all information used to be between likely and facts. The trouble is, those that are spreading the possible and impossible information do so with the total disregard for the negative impact it has on our country. So let's stop spreading all of those falsehoods. Let's get back to somewhere between likely and facts, instead of just false rumors. Once again, I want to thank you for watching, and have a great day.